Hello guys, welcome back to TargetStudy YouTube channel. You have seen our videos on different English language testing exams like IELTS, PTE and TOEFL etc. All these English language test exams are taken by various agencies, and good grades, or you can say bands, in these exams can enable aspiring candidates to get admission in various institutes across the world. Besides getting admission in the world-class universities across the globe, some of these exams are prerequisite to get various kind of visas and PRs in the countries like Canada, Australia and New Zealand, etc. IELTS and PTE are two such tests which one can take for not only getting admission in various institutes across the world, but also for applying for PR for various countries. Now the question arises, which exam I should take, IELTS or PTE? What is the difference between IELTS and PTE? A lot of people want to know whether IELTS is the right choice for them or they should go for PTE. In order to find an answer to this question and take the right decision, you must know the difference between both the tests so that you can decide which is best for you. Before analyzing the differences between these two, let me tell you that both of these tests, IELTS and PTE, were created to testify the ability of non-native English speakers. IELTS was introduced by the British Council and Cambridge English Language Assessment, whereas PTE was launched by Pearson. Both of these tests have different tools to check the test taker skills regarding the English language, but the modules are respectively the same, which are speaking, writing, reading and listening. So let us first compare these two tests module by module. And let's start with the first one, that is speaking. In PTE test, you don't have to face a person. Rather, you are supposed to talk to a computer through a microphone. Whereas in IELTS test, you have to speak with the examiner as they take your interview, which is far more intimidating as compared to PTE test. In PTE test, you have to read aloud, repeat a sentence, describe a graph, retell a lecture, and at last, answer a short question. And in IELTS, there are three sections. First is the proper introduction of yourself. Secondly, you have to give your opinions on the subject. And lastly, you get into a discussion with the examiner. In short, in IELTS, you have to talk to another person just like you would in real life and indulge in a conversation with them. But in PTE test, you are engaged with a machine that is your computer, and it is not as realistic as it should be. Next, let us compare writing modules. In PTE, you have to summarize a long text into only one sentence. You have to summarize a text that is spoken to you into 70 words. Then you have to write an essay that are a total of 3 sections. However, in IELTS, you have to describe a graph and then write an essay, which means there are a total of 2 sections. For the writing module, IELTS is considered a bit tough to complete even though you have an hour, and PTE writing is a lot easier and quicker because in IELTS you have to use pencil to write, whereas in PTE writing you have a keyboard over which you can type, which is a lot easier as you can delete and add text in between whenever you like. Next is reading module. In IELTS test, you have different type of questions that are not as academic as various PTE reading tasks, such as reordering a paragraph, multiple choices, fill in the blanks, which are very academic. In IELTS, the reading questions are much simpler and easier as compared to PTE reading module. There are multiple choice questions, information identification, writer's claim identification, matching information, features, headings, sentence endings, summary completion, sentence completion, table and note completion, flowchart completion, short question answers, etc. For the reading module, IELTS and PTE are considered as same. There is nothing much to differentiate between both of them. As far as allocated time is concerned, you get an hour for IELTS, whereas you get half an hour or so for PTE test reading module. And the last one is listening module. In PTE, you have several tasks such as summarizing an audio text, multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks, highlighting the summary, guessing the right missing word, highlighting incorrect words and dictation. In IELTS, you get to hear 4 different recordings and the task types are multiple choice, matching, completing sentences, completing summaries and flowcharts, labeling a map or a diagram or a plan, etc. So there is not much difference between both the listening module of 2 except for the academic test and non-academic test you get to hear and the difference of time. For IELTS listening, you get 30 minutes, but for the PTE listening, you have approximately 10 to 15 minutes. So guys, by now you must be well aware of the differences in the modules of both the tests. Now let me put the light on the other factors that make these two tests different from each other. Mode of the test. IELTS is a paper-based international test of English language proficiency for non-native English language speakers. And PTE is a computer-based English language test trusted by universities, colleges and governments around the world. And now the eligibilities for IELTS and PTE. In IELTS, anyone above the age of 16 years can take this test, and according to the PTE Academic Eligibility Criteria 2019, for PTE Academic, student must be at least 18 years or older. If the student's age is below than 18, he or she needs to produce a consent letter from their parents or guardian, and for PTE young learner children specifically, should be of or between the age of group of 7 to 12 years. Now let's come to the duration of these two tests. The duration of the IELTS test is 2 hours and 45 minutes and is conducted in 2 different days, whereas the duration of PTE exam is 3 hours or so and is conducted in a single day. Another point of difference between these two is their marking scheme. IELTS test is scored and marked in the form of bands that range from 1 to 9, and the PTE test is scored in numbers ranging from 1 to 90. Now about the result declaration of IELTS and PTE. IELTS results are declared after 15 days, whereas PTE results are declared after 24 hours or maximum 5 business days in some cases. Now you would like to know the acceptance of 2. IELTS has been acceptable by most of the universities around the world and considered for PR and various visa permissions. But guys, although being relatively new, the PTE is also catching fast and making a great start for students and prospective immigrants to get accepted in various academic programs all across the globe. So it is hard to make a decision on the basis of acceptance. These were some of the differences between 2 most accepted English language tests across the world. You can choose any of 2 according to your ease and requirements. One thing I would like to say in the end, that whether it's an examination, test, or any obstacle, just focus on your goal. Once you start focusing on the right thing, you are halfway there. That's all from this video guys. I hope I was able to clear your doubts about the differences between IELTS and PTE. If you like the information given in this video, give us thumbs up, and along with your friends and relatives, do share it on your WhatsApp groups, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook so that others can also take advantage from it. For more such informative videos, subscribe TargetStudy YouTube channel, and to get regular notifications, hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching.